Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the softball field outside Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you this production of Scarlet Hawks girls softball. I am Tim Coet, and this afternoon we have game number 2 of the 2015 regular season between your Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Foxboro Lady Warriors, a Davenport Division showdown coming up just a few moments from now. Both of these teams got their 2015 season started just 24 hours ago, and it was a strong showing for the pitching staff of the Lady Hawks as they allowed just one first inning run over the course of the entire ball game on just 3 hits, but unfortunately the offense could not produce a run of their own, so it was a 1-0 loss for the Lady Hawks yesterday, starting them off on the season at the 0-1 mark. Meanwhile, Foxboro, they were the only Davenport Division team to earn a win on the first day of the season. They had a rout of a victory, their offense on display all game long yesterday, so this will be a big test to see if the pitching staff for Milford can stay strong today against this very tough Foxboro offense. An excellent showdown coming up just a few moments from now, and we will have the coverage coming up for you next here on Milford TV. And we welcome you right back here at Milford High School, just moments away from the first pitch here in the home opener for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. And you can already hear now the noise rising up from just beyond the Lady Hawks dugout area, which is down the third base line as they are getting set to take on the Foxboro Lady Warriors. Field conditions here at Milford High School are pretty good, despite the difficult winter and the difficult conditions that all of these spring teams have had to deal with. The staff has done a great job getting this field game ready and set to go for this home opener here this afternoon. So without further ado, let's bring you the starting lineups for this afternoon's game, starting with the visitors, the Foxboro Lady Warriors. Leading it off is the third baseman, Hannah Davis. The captain, Lindsay Cundiff, plays second base and bats second. Brianna Stern is the catcher, batting third, with the cleanup hitter, the starting pitcher for today's game, Lexi Buckner. Batting fifth and playing first base is Kelly Fisher, with Bailey DaCosta, the right fielder, batting sixth. The shortstop, Jenna Weinstein, bats seventh, with the designated player, Mary Lou Long, batting eighth. And in the 9th spot is fellow captain number 6, Michaela Galley, playing center field. And for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, their starting lineup looks like this. In the leadoff spot is the center fielder, Sydney Pounds. Emily Pierre-Gustavo plays second base and bats second, with older sister Allie Pierre-Gustavo in at first base, batting third. The catcher and cleanup hitter is Taylor LeBrun, with the shortstop Jill Powers batting fifth. Caitlin DeCapua plays third base and bats sixth, with Maggie Farrell in at right field batting seventh. Megan Jakes is the designated player for today's game, batting eighth, and in the 9th spot is the left fielder, Jenny Levine. And your pitching matchup for this afternoon's game, we mentioned Lexi Buckner in the starting lineup for the Foxboro Lady Warriors. She will be opposed by Milford's Allie Atherton, number 21. You can see her warming up in the pitcher's circle right now. Pitched a solid game for the Lady Hawks in their season debut yesterday. Allowed just 1 run in the game in the first inning. Only allowed 3 hits over the course of her 7 innings. But unfortunately, Milford was just edged out in that game by the Mansfield Lady Hornets by a final score of 1-0. Milford out-hitting Mansfield in that game 5-3, but Milford could not push a run across, so they start out the season 0-1, looking to jump right back up to the 500 mark in this game this afternoon, and we are set for softball action. Overcast skies here in Milford, but comfortable temperatures at 64 degrees as we get this game underway. And the leadoff hitter for the Lady Warriors steps into the batter's box. It's Hannah Davis. The top 3 hitters in this Foxboro order are very dangerous. They demonstrated that yesterday in their blowout win over the Attleboro Lady Bombardiers. The first pitch of the game is swung on and driven out to deep left field. And that is over the fence. 1 pitch into the game, and Hannah Davis takes it over the fence, a solo home run. And instantly Foxboro was able to take a 1-0 lead. Picking up right where she left off in the game yesterday against Attleboro, Hannah Davis. Hitting a leadoff home run in the game yesterday, so how about that? 2 games into the season and 2 leadoff home runs for Davis. An impressive start to this varsity season. So a quick 1-0 lead for Foxboro, and now Lindsay Cundiff, one of the two captains on this Foxboro team, steps in on the right side. The pitch in from Atherton is there for a called strike one. Atherton trying to quickly regain her composure in the circle, fires in a swinging strike two. Got that one past the bat of Cundiff. Went a perfect 3 for 3 at the plate yesterday, did Cundiff, collecting 6 runs batted in. But takes the third pitch of the at-bat for a called strike three, so a nice bounce back at-bat for Atherton. Catching Lindsay Cundiff looking, 1 out in the inning, the bases are empty. A 1-0 lead for Foxboro as now Brianna Stern, the catcher, steps in. About to see the first pitch of the at-bat from Atherton. It's up high for a ball. And check that, it was Brianna Stern, the number 3 hitter, who collected the 6 runs batted in the game yesterday. All totaled to a 14-run output from this Foxboro offense, and now this is a hard hit ball up over the head of Milford's left fielder. This will be extra bases, looking for 3, and she is out. It was a little bit of a bobble at third base, but they maintained contact with the runner long enough for the out call. So Brianna Stern trying to stretch that into a triple, a good quick throw in from the outfield, and the tag applied at third base just ahead of the slide of Brianna Stern. An easy extra base hit, but a little bit too greedy on the bases, and now 2 outs and the base is empty for the cleanup hitter, Lexi Buckner. The first lefty bat displayed in the Foxboro lineup takes a pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes the count. Should Buckner reach the first baseman, Kelly Fisher would be the next batter. Atherton ready with the 2-0 pitch. It's chopped foul down the first base line. Pitcher against pitcher in this at-bat. Lexi Buckner will take the circle in the bottom half of this inning. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. Atherton ready with her next pitch. This is hit on the ground off the fingertips of the glove of the second baseman, Emily Pierre-Gustavo. It rolls out into left field. Pierre-Gustavo covering good ground. That one just glancing off the fingertips for a single. And the base running play costly for Foxboro, as that would have likely resulted in a run had Stern stopped at second base. With a chance now for Kelly Fisher, the first baseman, with a runner aboard at first. Atherton trying to get through this first inning with no more damage done on the scoreboard. The first pitch is in for a called strike one. Hannah Davis hitting the solo home run on the first pitch of this inning to instantly put the Lady Warriors on the scoreboard. Here's the pitch. This is driven out to right field, but sized up there by Maggie Farrell. She makes the catch, and that is the end of the top half of the first inning. So 3 hits in the inning for Foxboro. It results in 1 run scored, and after a half an inning of play, it is Foxboro 1 and Milford 0. The Lady Scarlet Hawks will take their first swings of the game when we come back here on Milford TV. A solo home run for Foxboro gave them a 1-0 lead. Now Milford about to take their first at-bats in this home opener for the Lady Hawks. It will be Sydney Pounds, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and Allie Pierre-Gustavo, the 3 expected in this bottom of the first inning. Milford will face the starting pitcher for Foxboro, Lexi Buckner. Collecting a hit in the top half of the inning. Delivers a called strike one into Sydney Pounds. Dynamic leadoff hitter in this Milford lineup. The lefty Buckner delivering a pitch just outside to even up the count at 1-1. It was Kat Keller for Foxboro who made the start in the ball game yesterday against Attleboro. Foxboro did surrender 9 runs in that game, but the offense coming through with 14 runs of their own for the victory. 2 balls and 1 strike the count here on Sydney Pounds. The next pitch well outside. 3-1 now the count. Buckner ready now for the 3-1 offering. And that one taken low for ball 4. Pounds taking just an extra beat in the batter's box to make sure that was indeed ball 4. Now trots down to first base. Excellent speed on the bases for Milford as they draw the leadoff walk. Now here is Emily Pierre Gustavo taking her first varsity softball at bat here in her freshman season. And takes the first pitch for ball 1. Emily Pierre Gustavo also making the varsity girls basketball team back during the winter sports season. Now a quick snap throw down to first base and Pounds is out. You saw Sydney Pounds take that big secondary lead after the first pitch. Did not induce a throw from the catcher. This time Brianna Stern did not hesitate to send that snap throw down to first base. A nice play executed by the Foxboro infield, and now it is 1 out and the base is clear. It's a 2-ball, no strike count on Emily Pierre Gustavo. She hits a line drive out to center field, tracking back towards the fence, and that is over the fence for a home run. A line drive shot for Emily Pierre Gustavo just snuck over the dead center field fence. An exchange of solo shots here in the first inning, and Milford has tied the ball game up at 1 apiece. So how about that for a start to your varsity softball career and your first at bat at home? A solo home run to tie the ball game. 1-1 our score is now Allie Pierre Gustavo steps into the box. Still 1 out in the inning as Pierre Gustavo takes it in on the hands for ball 1. So the Milford Bats frustrated yesterday being held off the scoreboard. They are able to immediately put a run in their column here in the bottom of the first inning in game number 2. Lexi Buckner behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. She delivers her next pitch in there for a called strike 1. Two and 1 the count to one of the co-captains of this Lady Hawks squad. Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt. Pierre Gustavo doesn't chase. They do check down to the infield ump who says for sure no swing. 3-1 the count now. The next pitch is hit on the ground, up the middle, off the glove of the second baseman, nearly ricocheted right into the glove of the shortstop. But neither infielder could handle it cleanly. And Allie Pierre Gustavo now reaches think that would be ruled an error on the second baseman. Always a judgment call. But Pierre Gustavo at first base. Now for Taylor LeBrun. The captain's hitting back-to-back in the 3-4 spots in this Milford lineup. The 1-0 pitch in for a strike. You can already see a lot of confidence behind the plate in Brianna Stern, unafraid to throw at any base at any time. These Milford runners are going to need to stay on their toes. High drive out to right field. Now this will stay on the field of play, and it'll end up in the glove of Bailey DaCosta, Foxboro's right fielder, for out number 2 of the inning. Defensively for Foxboro, they look like this. It is Brianna Stern behind the plate with Hannah Davis at third, Jenna Weinstein at short, Lindsay Cundiff at second, and Kelly Fisher at first. Left to right in the outfield, Carolyn Will, Michaela Galley, and Bailey DaCosta. All in support defensively of their starting pitcher, Lexi Buckner. Has 2 outs in the inning now as she faces Jill Powers, the shortstop. Missing with the first pitch for ball 1. A 1-1 tie here in the first inning. That pitch misses outside and low. Allie Pierre Gustavo remains at first base. She is the lone runner. The 2-0 pitch. Took something off of that one. It stayed upstairs, right at the eye level of Jill Powers. And Powers well ahead in the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. Powers takes all the way and takes a called strike 1. Should the inning continue, Caitlin DeCapua would be up next. Buckner settles on the rubber and gets a swing and a miss. Powers lunging a bit for that ball, and now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. And a head start at first base for Allie Pierre Gustavo on this next pitch. She goes as the pitch just misses for ball 4. Very close pitch, but it goes Milford's way. It's the second walk of the inning. As Powers trots down to first, Pierre Gustavo advances to second, and the inning continues as Caitlin DeCapua settles in the box. Righty batter against lefty pitcher. Buckner's first offering is hit on the ground towards first base, grabbed cleanly by Fisher. She takes it to the first base bag herself for the out that ends the inning. So a solo home run for Hannah Davis in the top half of the inning, a solo home run for Emily Pierre Gustavo in the bottom half of the frame, and we are all tied up at 1 as we head to inning number 2 here on Milford TV. Batters 6, 7, and 8 due up for Foxboro as we start the top of the second inning here at Milford High School. A 1-1 tie between these two teams. Allie Atherton to deliver her first pitch of the inning, and it misses for ball 1. Atherton allowed a total of 3 hits in the first inning, including the solo shot. Gets a tapper foul here that's handled over in front of the third base dugout by Milford's head coach, Steve DeVito, in his second season now as the head coach of this softball program. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. 2-1. Bailey DaCosta, the right fielder, the first batter of the inning for the Lady Warriors. The 2-1 pitch hits slowly to third base. In tight was Milford's third baseman, Caitlin DeCapua, and a nice strong throw across the diamond. Gets DaCosta for the first out of the inning. 5-3 on the ground out, and now here is the shortstop, Jenna Weinstein. Atherton's pitch has Weinstein ducking out of the way. One out and the base is empty here in the top of the second inning. Atherton winds and fires. In for a called strike. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Here's the pitch. Missing outside, 2-1 now. Defensively, Milford looks like this. Taylor LeBrun behind the plate with Caitlin DeCapua at third, Jill Powers at short, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at second, and Allie Pierre-Gustavo at first. Left to right in the outfield, Jenny Levine, Sydney Pounds, and Maggie Farrell. As Atherton evens up the count once again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Allie Atherton. And the first 2 are retired here in the top of the second. Atherton had 2 strikeouts in the game yesterday against Mansfield. Delivers her first pitch in for a called strike 1. Here's the pitch. In on the hands, it's grounded to second base. The underhand flip from Emily to Allie Pierre-Gustavo. The out is recorded. It's a very quick 1-2-3 top of the second inning. Nicely done by the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. On to the bottom of the second we go. A 1-1 tie between Milford and Foxboro as you enjoy coverage of Lady Hawks softball here on Milford TV. It is the bottom third of the Lady Hawks order coming up here in the bottom of the second inning. Maggie Farrell due up first against Lexi Buckner, back out in the circle for Foxboro. The first pitch of the inning outside for a ball. Very nice top of the second inning turned in by Allie Atherton, inducing 2 ground outs along with the strikeout. As now Farrell taps one off the plate, foul. Evens the count at 1. Maggie Farrell in tight in that left side batter's box. There's the pitch. Tapped in front of the plate, but foul. Rolled into the batter's box after bouncing out in front of the plate. 1-2 the count. Farrell now followed by Megan Jakes and Jenny Levine. The pitch from Buckner is swung on and driven out to right field deep towards the fence. And tracking it down out there in deep right field was Bailey DaCosta. The cloud cover overhead making it a little easier to track down those fly balls without the sun to contend with. But a nice rangy play turned in by the Foxboro right fielder for the first out here in the bottom of the second. That brings up Megan Jakes in as the designated player this afternoon. Stands in on the right side against the lefty throwing Lexi Buckner. The first pitch in for a called strike 1. Coach DeVito with very high praise for Megan Jakes when I spoke to him before the season started, stepping in behind the plate. Last season when Taylor LeBrun went down to injury, really held down the position well. Hits a ground ball here to shortstop that's played cleanly by Weinstein, fires across to Kelly Fisher at first for the out. 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of the second. brings up Jenny Levine. Left fielder holds up the swing and takes ball 1. That front foot right on the line, inside in the batter's box for Levine. Swings and misses at that one, may have foul tipped it into the mitt. Either way, it evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive in and out of the glove of the pitcher Buckner, but she's able to recover and flip it to first for the out that ends the inning. So 3 up and 3 down in the top half of the inning, same thing in the bottom half, and we move right on to inning number 3 here at Milford High School with the score Milford 1 and Foxboro 1 here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. We remain tied at 1 as we head into the top half of the 3rd inning. Tim Coet here on the call for Milford TV, bringing you Milford High School softball. Milford taking on the visiting Foxboro Lady Warriors. The number 9 hitter in the Foxboro lineup. Turns to bunt, but sends it foul. Trying to catch the Milford infield by surprise, but couldn't keep it between the lines. And so it's a no ball, 1 strike count. Allie Atherton ready with her next pitch. That one drifts too far inside, and the count evens up at 1. Another bunt attempt, but another foul ball. This one glances back up to the backstop. One and 2 now the count. A nice crowd forming around the ballpark here in Milford. Happy to see softball return once again. The 1-2 pitch from Atherton is swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout now for Atherton. Atherton has retired the last 5 batters in a row. And will now go 2nd time through the lineup. Leadoff hitter Hannah Davis, who takes the first pitch for a called strike. She only saw 1 pitch in her last at bat and deposited it over the left field fence for a solo home run. The 0-1 pitch from Atherton in there for a called strike 2. Atherton hitting that outside edge on her last 2 pitches to send Davis into the 0-2 hole. The windup and the pitch. This one fought off foul out towards the parking lot. Always one of those things you have to keep in mind when you come to a ball game. Where do you park your car to stay out of foul ball territory? The parking lot here outside the softball field, very close to the playing surface. Another 0-2 pitch. This one a tapper foul over towards the first base dugout. The visiting team occupying the first base dugout here at the Milford softball field, with the Lady Hawks occupying the 3rd base dugout. Another 0-2 pitch on the way, and this one is on the ground up the middle, fielded there by Emily Pierre-Gustavo to Allie Pierre-Gustavo for the 2nd out of the inning. So a much better result for Atherton in her second time against Hannah Davis, able to induce the 4-3 ground out. 2 outs in the inning now for Lindsay Cundiff, who struck out looking in her first at bat. Here's the pitch, popped up in foul ground. It's up over the first base dugout and out of play. No balls and 1 strike the count. The next pitch on the way, another bunt attempt. We've seen a couple of batters try to get on via the bunt attempt in this inning, but so far none of the Foxboro hitters have been able to keep them in fair territory. And Cundiff now down in the count, 0-2. Atherton looking for her second straight 1-2-3 inning. She settles on the pitching rubber, looks into her battery mate. Now delivers to the plate and gets a swinging strike. It gets away from LeBrun. She throws down to first. It's off the heel of the glove of Ali Pierre-Gustavo. And after a bit of a lack of concentration from Cundiff as she didn't get right back to the bag, she is able to get ahead before Ali Pierre-Gustavo could apply the tag. I think that caught both players by surprise. Pierre-Gustavo not realizing the runner was off the base. Cundiff not realizing the ball was so close, but she was able to get to the bag. So despite the strikeout, Cundiff reaches and gives Brianna Stern a chance, who sends one hard and foul up against the backstop. No balls and 1 strike the count. Atherton looking to get an extra out in this inning, as this one is hit foul again, this time up and over the backstop and over towards the football field. 0-2 the count. Atherton looking to collect what would be her 3rd strikeout of the inning. Here's the pitch. Instead, it's hit on the ground up the middle. Fielded there at second base by Pierre-Gustavo. She goes the underhand flip to second base to get the force out. That does end the inning. So the error proves to be harmless. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's still a 1-1 tie here on Milford TV. Back up to the top of the order for the Lady Hawks as they take their at-bats in the bottom of the 3rd inning, a 1-1 tie between Milford and Foxboro. The first pitch from Lexi Buckner is in for a called strike 1. Sydney Pounds reached on a leadoff walk back in the bottom of the 1st inning, but was picked off. A little bit too big of a lead at first base for Pounds. Caught the attention of Brianna Stern, who was able to throw down to first base to get the pickoff. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count. Here's the pitch. Down low, 2-1. The Lady Hawks sporting new jerseys this season, camo-style jerseys, similar to what we saw out of the Legion baseball team last summer. As that pitch makes its way over the outside edge to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Buckner ready with her next pitch. Here it is. It's a bouncer. Runs the count full to the first batter here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Pound settles back in on the right side. The lefty Buckner delivers, and it's low for ball 4. For the second straight at bat, Sydney Pounds works a walk. It's the third walk issued so far this afternoon for Lexi Buckner. Puts the leadoff runner aboard now for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who hit a solo home run in her first at bat. Pierre-Gustavo takes the first pitch for ball 1. Batting with Sydney Pounds at first base. Another hard bluff by Pounds at first. But gets back to the bag without a throw this time from Brianna Stern. The 2-0 pitch outside. Buckner trying to get her feel for the strike zone here in the third inning, in danger of walking a second straight batter. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Floated in there for a called strike 1. Pierre-Gustavo not tempted to swing ahead 3-0. Buckner ready with the 3-1. It's swung on and hit in the air out to right field. Towards the line, diving is DaCosta, but she can't make the catch. Pounds will hit second base. She takes a hard turn before retreating to the bag. Great effort out there in right field for DaCosta. She had a long way to go all the way to that right field line. Went into a dive. Had it ever so briefly in the glove, but could not secure it. It should go as a hit for Pierre-Gustavo. Runners at first and second now with nobody out. And the first pitch into Allie Pierre-Gustavo is high for ball 1. So 2 trips to the plate and 2 hits in the game already for Pierre-Gustavo, including the home run. The pitch down in the dirt brings the count to 2 balls and no strikes to Allie Pierre-Gustavo, who reached on an error by the second baseman in her first at bat. Here's the 2-0. A line drive right back up the middle for a base hit. Hitting third base is Pounds. She comes to the plate. The throw is cut off. It's an RBI single for Allie Pierre-Gustavo. That gives Milford their first lead of the game, as they are up now 2-1. That one a rope right back up the middle by Pierre-Gustavo. No chance for Lexi Buckner to even react. And so now both members of the Pierre-Gustavo family on the base paths, with Emily at second and Allie at first. Pounds coming in to score on that RBI single. And now Taylor LeBrun at the plate. Takes a pitch over the outside edge. The 1-1. That one a little too far outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. So the walk definitely hurting Buckner here in the third inning, walking the leadoff hitter, Sydney Pounds, who came around to score. Still no outs in the inning as this pitch has popped up in foul ground behind first base. It is Kelly Fisher who is able to make the catch. The 2 runners hold. So Taylor LeBrun retired. One down now in the inning. Runners remaining at first and second base now for Jill Powers, who worked a walk back in the first inning. First pitch of the at-bat is in low for a ball. Lexi Buckner has been consistently working behind hitters so far in the early innings. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little outside and a little bit low. 2-0 the count. Bit of a breeze coming through intermittently here at the field. Right now it's calm. As Jill Powers takes a pitch high. Now in the driver's seat, up 3 balls and no strikes. Buckner's next pitch. Nice pitch on the 3-0 count from Buckner, nicking the outside edge and bringing the count to 3-1. Caitlin DeCapua waiting on deck. As now timeout is called by the home plate umpire. He wants to confer with his colleague on the infield. Wanting to just confirm that the count on the scoreboard was correct. Indeed it is. 3 balls and 1 strike. Lexi Buckner slapping the ball a couple of times into the glove before she readies herself for the 3-1. It's hit on the ground through up the middle for a base hit. Coming around to score is Emily Pierre-Gustavo. Allie holds at third. The throw comes all the way home, and that allows Jill Powers to move up to second base. Credit Powers with an RBI single that increases the Milford lead now to 3-1. So the Milford batters really starting to get comfortable here in the 3rd inning. A conference now taking place in the pitcher's circle involving the entire Lady Warriors team. Now their head coach coming out to join in. Caitlin DeCapua now stepping in. She grounded out 3 unassisted back in the 1st. Batting with 2 runners in scoring position. Foxboro infield in tight all the way around. Buckner delivering a first pitch strike. And now this one is hit hard on the ground underneath the glove of Lindsay Cundiff. 1 run comes in to score. Here comes a second. It's a 2-run single for Caitlin DeCapua as both Pierre-Gustavo and Powers come around to score. And Milford now enjoys a 5-1 lead. It's the 4th hit now of the inning for Milford. They only had 1 hit coming into the frame. They've all been singles so far, but very effective nonetheless. 2 runs batted in for the 3rd baseman, DeCapua. As now this pitch is lined down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way to the corner. Around to 3rd base comes DeCapua. A late stop sign put up by Coach DeVito. And DeCapua scampers back to the bag safely. DeCosta was able to get the throw back in quickly. It is a double for Maggie Farrell. So 2 more runners in scoring position for the Lady Hawks. Lexi Buckner in a big jam. Delivers the first pitch outside to Megan Jakes for ball one. Jakes grounded out to shortstop and her only at bat so far this afternoon. Still just in the bottom half of the third inning. This game now approaching an hour old. Two balls and no strikes now the count. Here's the pitch. Down low. 3 balls and no strikes the count. And that one just grabs the outside edge. These Milford hitters very disciplined. Making Buckner work this inning, not swinging at pitches out of the zone. As Jakes hits a ground ball foul that rolls all the way out to Rob O'Keefe's position out in foul ground down the left field line. Rob O'Keefe manning the camera once again in our sports coverage. Here's the 3-2 pitch now. This is popped up in the air out to shallow right field. Glances off the glove of the second baseman Cundiff, who went out into shallow right field to field it, but it ends up being a foul ball. Cundiff going into foul ground to try to make the catch. In and out of the mitt, but no harm, no foul. It remains a 3-2 count with 1 out in the inning. And 2 runners in scoring position for Milford. This pitch high and tight for ball 4. So what could have been a potential second out of the inning for Foxboro instead turns into the second walk of the inning. And the bases are now loaded for Jenny Levine. Swings at the first pitch and slices it foul and out of play. Nothing in 1 the count. A hit here could really break things open as the pitch misses up high. Buckner ready with the 1-1 pitch. It's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. She throws to the plate for the out there. The throw to first. Not in time to complete the double play. But Foxboro will certainly take the sure out at home. Nicely done by Buckner, grabbing that ball on a hop. Sending a nice throw to the plate for the catcher, Brianna Stern, who was able to get the force out at home. So Caitlin DeCapua erased from the bases. Levine safe at first on the fielder's choice, so the base is still loaded. Now it is Maggie Farrell, the runner at third, with Megan Jakes at second, and Jenny Levine at first. A chance for Sydney Pounds as Milford has batted around here in the third inning. Pounds led off the inning with a walk. Now takes a strike that evens up the count at 1-1. Pounds with a pair of walks to her credit. A walk here would result in another run. The 1-1 pitch misses down low. If you're Coach DeVito, you love the patience at the plate that Sydney Pounds displays out of this leadoff spot. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count. 1 pitch away from walking in a run is Lexi Buckner. It's been a 4-run inning so far for Milford to take a 5-1 lead. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It misses outside for ball 4. A 3rd walk in the game for Sydney Pounds. And this one produces a run, as coming in from third base is Maggie Farrell to give Milford a 6-1 lead. Three walks in the inning for Lexi Buckner. 4 overall in the game. Now here's Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who is 2 for 2 in the game, sends a hard shot off the end of the bat foul. Rattles up against the backstop. And Pierre-Gustavo's down in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch up high. Pierre-Gustavo doesn't chase. Emily Pierre-Gustavo, a solo home run in the bottom of the 1st inning that tied this game at 1. Milford now with 5 runs in this 3rd inning to open up a 6-1 lead. Here's the pitch. This is driven out to left field. It will drop in front of Carolyn Will. A couple of runs come home to score for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. A 2-run single for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who's having some kind of game here this afternoon. Already now 3 runs batted in, 3 hits. Milford up big now, 8-1. The hometown fans enjoying what they're seeing here in this 3rd inning, is now first pitch swinging Allie Pierre-Gustavo. Pops it up out to center field for the out that finally retires the side here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but big time damage done by the Lady Hawks bats here in the bottom of the 3rd. They score 7 times to open up an 8-1 lead over the Lady Warriors here on coverage of Milford Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. Well, Allie Atherton returns to the pitcher circle now with a sizable lead in her corner. She had a chance to sit back and watch her offense put up 7 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning to open up an 8-1 lead over Foxboro as we enter the top half of the 4th. And Lexi Buckner, who allowed those 7 runs in the 3rd inning on the mound, now starts off this inning at the plate. Sends a couple of foul balls up and out of play. The count is 0-2. Buckner did reach on a single back in the 1st inning. The 0-2 pitch from Atherton is low and outside. Not tempting for Buckner to chase. The count goes to 1-2. Next pitch on the way from Atherton is swung on and missed for strike 3. 5 strikeouts now in the game for Allie Atherton. Atherton showed good composure in the circle in the top half of the 3rd inning, getting what should have been an inning-ending strikeout, but the ball got away from LeBrun behind the plate, sent the throw down to first base that popped out of the glove of Allie Pierre-Gustavo to extend the inning, but Atherton calmly getting a ground ball and a force play that eventually ended the inning. With no damage done, now 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Here's a line drive. That's going to get through for a base hit. by the first baseman, Kelly Fisher, thinking too as that one rolls all the way to the wall. Now a bit of a stumble around the second base bag, but Fisher gets back in safely with a double. That one rolling all the way out to the fence out there in the outfield, and I do believe I heard from Coach DeVito before the game started that the warning track area out there is the one spot on the field that is still a little bit muddy. Certainly what it appeared to be, as Sidney Pounds got a little bit bogged down out there. So a one-out runner at second base for Foxboro is now, this ball is hit on the ground to third base. A quick and accurate throw out of Caitlin DeCapua is able to get Bailey DaCosta by a running step. It's the second straight time DaCosta has grounded out to third base. And now here is the shortstop, Jenna Weinstein, who struck out swinging in her first at bat. Sends a hard line drive to the backstop. Nothing in one the count. Fisher, the runner at third base now, advancing to third on that ground out by DaCosta. One ball and one strike the count. Now this pitch down in the dirt, a nice block by Taylor LeBrun, very important with that runner at third base. The count goes to 2-1. Coach DeVito keeping an ever watchful eye. Crouched down right outside the third base dugout. Here's the 2-1 offering. Hit in the air, foul. Over the first base dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in this top of the fourth inning. Atherton ready, here's the pitch. In for a called strike 3. Weinstein knew it immediately. The 6th strikeout of the game now for Allie Atherton, and that will end things here in the top of the fourth inning. Foxboro strands a runner at third base. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 8-1 in favor of Milford here on Milford TV. Taylor LeBrun leads it off for the home team here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Takes a swing at that high pitch, lifts it up and over the third base dugout and out towards the lacrosse teams practicing out on the artificial surface. A busy day of athletics going on here at Milford High School. Tennis going on just behind us. Lacrosse as well, as all of the spring sports teams are certainly excited to be able to get outdoors, get their seasons going. Everyone getting very creative in how they practiced leading up to the start of these spring seasons. Here's an 0-2 pitch that's tapped foul. LeBrun hanging tough at the plate. I believe I took a trip to Milford High School a couple of weeks back and saw the spring track team practicing throwing javelins into the snowbanks out in the parking lot. Those are the kind of resourceful tactics these teams needed to take. And meanwhile, this is a ground ball hit right between the wickets of the second baseman, Lindsey Cundiff. It rolls out into right field, and LeBrun will reach. It's the second error of the game for Foxboro. LeBrun at first base now, ahead of Jill Powers. And we'll See a courtesy runner here for Milford as Kate Irwin takes over at first base for LeBrun. 0-1 the count on Jill Powers. Powers delivered an RBI single back in that rally in the last inning, now sends a hard line drive out to right field. DaCosta moving over into the gap to make the catch. Right field has seen plenty of action today for the Foxboro defense, and Bailey DaCosta has played a solid game out there. One out, the runner taking off from first base as this ball is hit on the ground to second. The flip from Cundiff to Weinstein gets the lead runner at second base. They don't try the throw to first. And a nice job by the middle infielders to cut down that lead runner, Kate Irwin, who was in motion. But she is retired. Caitlin DeCapua reaches on the fielder's choice. And with 2 outs in the inning, Maggie Farrell just clipped with that pitch on the way by. She will head down to first base. Runners at first and second now ahead of Megan Jakes. Looking to do some 2-out damage. Here's the pitch. In tight, but right there on the inside edge for a called strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count. Here's the pitch. In for a called strike 2. Good location on back-to-back pitches for Buckner, and she's ahead in the count with 2 outs. Here is the 0-2 pitch down low. No chase from Jakes. Count runs to 1-2. Jenny Levine on deck. Here's the pitch. Tapped foul at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. 2 runners aboard for Milford, who lead it 8-1. Here's the pitch. Line drive out to deep left field to the wall, and it is gone. A 3-run home run from Megan Jakes. And you can make it an even 10-run lead now for the Lady Hawks. 11-1 the score as the entire team spills out of the dugout to celebrate the 3-run blast. Buckner 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, but Megan Jakes makes her pay. The 2nd Milford home run of the game. Drives in 3. And now here is Jenny Levine with 2 outs, and now the base is empty. The 6th batter of this bottom of the 4th inning. Jenny Levine reaching on a fielder's choice. Her last time up, lifts a pop-up on the infield. It is the shortstop Weinstein who makes the catch for the out that ends the inning. But the big blast in the inning by Megan Jakes, a 3-run home run that ups the Milford lead to 11-1 here on coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. The Lady Hawks now with 11 runs on 8 hits. taking an 11-1 advantage over the Foxboro Lady Warriors. We've seen a total of 3 home runs in this game. 2 of them belong to Milford. Megan Jakes with a 3-run home run in the bottom half of the 4th inning to give Allie Atherton an even 10-run lead now to work with. And the first pitch of the inning is a hit by pitch. So 1 runner aboard, no outs. And the first pitch is grounded right back to the pitcher. They'll take the sure out at first. Atherton did not even look down to second base. Back up to the top of the lineup now, and Hannah Davis. That last out going 1-3. This pitch chopped foul at the plate for a strike. Runner at second base with 1 out in the inning, and now this pitch is popped up foul and out of play. High drive out to right field, but not deep, handled by Maggie Farrell, who gets the throw quickly back in. No further advance. 2 outs now in the inning. Davis now retired for the 2nd time this afternoon. Two outs, the runner remaining at second base now for Lindsay Cundiff. Cundiff has done the same thing twice so far today, and that is strike out. She struck out looking back in the first, struck out swinging in the third, though did reach base on the error on the infield. Batting with 2 outs in this top of the 5th inning, with the Lady Hawks up by 10 runs. Brief pause in the action now. The batter stepping back in. Next pitch in from Atherton. Misses a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Scoreboard had not been reflecting the ball strikes are out so far in this top of the 5th. Now everything updated. And a swing and a miss. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Runner at second base for Foxboro. Trying to find a way to get back into this ball game. Here's the pitch from Atherton. It's on the ground. It gets under her glove. Backed up at second base. The quick throw, not in time. Too much speed out of Lindsay Cundiff. She digs out the infield single. And nothing the Milford infield could have done differently. Emily Pierre-Gustavo getting to that ball as quickly as she could. Sent a quick throw over to first base, but just too much speed for Cundiff, who reaches on the infield single. It puts runners at the corners now for the Lady Warriors. The cleanup hitter, or excuse me, the number 3 hitter, Brianna Stern, at the plate. She doubled back in the first inning, grounded into an inning-ending force play back in the third. Starts off ahead in the count, 1-0. The next pitch from Atherton. This is driven out into the gap in left center field. It gets past the glove of Jenny Levine. 1 run comes in to score. Here's a second run that will come across the plate without a throw. It is a 2-run double by Brianna Stern. And Foxboro able to tack a couple of runs in their column. The score now 11-3. Briefly showed a score of 11-6, and none of the Foxboro fans were showing any protest to that 6-run mark. So it's now an 8-run lead for Milford as this pitch is chopped in front of the plate by Lexi Buckner, fielded by Taylor LeBrun. She throws to first for the out that ends the inning, but a 2-run double in the inning for Brianna Stern brings the score now to 11-3 in favor of the Lady Hawks here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV.
Come on, Sydney.
We've reached the bottom of the 5th inning now. And back up to the top spot in the lineup once again for Milford, as Sydney Pounds takes a pitch up over her head for ball 1. 3 trips to the plate and 3 walks for Sydney Pounds so far today. One ball and 1 strike now, the count. Pounds scored a run back in the 3rd inning, part of that big 7-run rally. Pops this pitch up foul and out of play, and a nice catch made by a spectator. Had it all the way. Good defense being displayed all around the field today, including amongst the fans. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to Sydney Pounds. And another pop foul right in the same area. Principal Carolyn Banach over there not attempting to make the catch. And the count remains 1-2. Next pitch in from Buckner is swung on and missed for strike 3, so she finally gets Sydney Pounds. After walking her in her previous 3 at-bats, this time gets the strikeout. It is just the first strikeout of a Milford batter this afternoon. And now Emily Pierre-Gustavo swings at the first pitch. Lines it to second base. The catch is made, so that is the first time Pierre Gustavo has been retired today after a 3-hit performance to start her afternoon. 2 quick outs in the inning. And Alexi Buckner would love nothing more than to collect a nice and easy 1-2-3 inning. Gets a pop-up and foul ground. This one makes its way out of play. Buckner did enjoy a 1-2-3 inning back in the 2nd, but outside of that has had to work pretty hard the rest of the innings of her outing. Sends a pitch too far outside, and the count evens at 1-1 to Ali Pierre-Gustavo, who's reached on an error, singled to drive in a run, and has flown out to center field. That pitch up high, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning, and the base is empty. The Milford dugout keeping the chatter going strong as Pierre-Gustavo takes a called strike on the outer edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the inning. Here is the pitch. Off the end of the bat, a ground ball to second base, fielded by Cundiff. The throw to first base there in time, and it is indeed a 1-2-3 inning. Here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, we've played 5 full now for Milford High School. It's the Lady Hawks 11 and the Lady Warriors 3 here on coverage of high school softball on Milford TV. A new pitcher on for the Lady Hawks as we get things started in the top half of the 6th inning. After Allie Atherton went the first 5, the new pitcher on now is Kelly Reichert. Coach DeVito giving Atherton some rest after pitching a complete game yesterday afternoon, going the first 5 innings here this afternoon, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits. She had 6 strikeouts in her outing. Turns it over now to the right-handed throwing Kelly Reichert. And now first pitch swinging, Kelly Fisher lines a base hit out to right field. Fisher now with her 2nd hit on the day. And now Bailey DaCosta coming to the plate. She's grounded out twice to third base. That's with that leadoff runner aboard at first. Reichert's next pitch swung on and might have been foul tipped into the glove of Taylor LeBrun for a strike. One ball and 1 strike the count here in the top of the 6th. As that pitch drifts in too far inside, the count goes to 2-1. The 2-1 pitch there for a called strike 2. We've seen DaCosta turn in a solid defensive effort out in right field for Foxboro this afternoon. Chops this pitch foul down the third base line. The count remains 2-2. Reichert ready, here's her pitch. Tapped back to the pitcher's circle, fielded there by Reichert. She goes the sure route to first base to get the first out of the inning. Up to second base goes Kelly Fisher with now 1 down. DaCosta retired 1-3. And now the first pitch is hit hard but foul by Jenna Weinstein. Milford and Foxboro had to endure 2 postponements before they got their first game in against each other a season ago. This ball is hit on the ground. Once again back to the pitcher, where Reichert fields it and fires to first for the 2nd out of the inning. Back-to-back 1-3 groundouts. 2 away in the inning. Fisher advances to third base. Now for Mary Lou Long. Trying to drive that runner in from third base is Mary Lou Long. Reached via a hit by pitch in her last at bat. Nothing and 1 the count. A swing and a miss brings the count to 0-2. Foxboro trailing in this game by 8 runs. It has stayed pretty gray and dreary looking today, but precipitation free during the game. We expect it to stay that way. Breeze blowing from right to left across the field. Much less of a breeze than during yesterday's games. Here's the 1-2 pitch now. This is lofted in the air out to center field. Sydney Pounds is there. She makes the catch for the out that retires the side here in the bottom of the, the top of the 6th inning. Foxboro strands a runner at third base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It remains an 11-3 score with Milford out in front here on coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. The catcher Taylor LeBrun to lead things off for the Lady Hawks here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Takes a swing at the first offering from Lexi Buckner and sends it foul out towards the parking lot. Buckner still hanging tough in the pitcher circle. She's pitched this entire game to this point, allowing all 11 runs on 8 hits. This pitch is driven out to right field. It gets past the glove of Bailey DaCosta. It's going to be extra bases. Thinking 3 right now for Taylor LeBrun. She cruises into third base with a stand-up triple. A line shot quickly got past the glove of DaCosta out and right. And an easy triple for LeBrun. She stands at third base now to start off this inning. The pinch hitter now coming up for the Lady Hawks as Maddie Bonvino steps in for Jill Powers. Quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. Jill Powers had an RBI single, went 1 for 2 at the plate, also had a walk and a run scored. So a productive day out of the number 5 spot in the lineup, but now replaced by Bonvino. 3 balls and no strikes the count, as this pitch is not close. A 4-pitch walk issued to the pinch hitter Bonvino, and that puts runners at the corners now, as Caitlin DaCosta now comes to the plate. Looks like we might see another pinch hitter come up after DeCapua, as Shannon Cormier has grabbed a bat in the on-deck circle. One ball and no strikes. Buckner missing with the last 5 straight pitches. Now 2-0 the count. DeCapua drove in 2 runs as part of that 3rd inning rally. Milford sent 12 batters to the plate in that 3rd inning, scoring 7 times on 6 hits. Milford scoring in the 1st inning, the 3rd inning, and the 4th inning, collecting their 11 runs. And another 3-ball, no-strike count, as Buckner has really lost the strike zone here to these last 2 batters. Here's the 3-0. And that misses for ball 4. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks. And it loads the bases for the pinch hitter, Shannon Cormier. And a quick meeting at the pitcher circle before this at-bat commences. The lefty Cormier batting with the bases full and no outs in the inning. Swings at the first pitch and slices it foul and out of play. This inning began with the triple by Taylor LeBrun, and then back-to-back walks have loaded the bases. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit in the air, foul, and once again that will drift out of play. Lexi Buckner collected her first strikeout of her outing in the 5th inning, striking out Sydney Pounds. Foxboro would love to see a strikeout here in this situation. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit foul up against the backstop, and it remains an 0-2 count. Heading into the evening hours now here in Milford, an 11-3 lead for the Lady Hawks, looking for more as Cormier takes that pitch. It misses outside for a ball to bring the count to 1-2. Off-speed pitch right at the top of the strike zone for a called strike 3. So Buckner does get the second strikeout of her outing, a big out here, but just the first out of the inning. The bases remain loaded now for Megan Jakes, who blasted a 3-run home run in her last at-bat. Jakes takes the first pitch for ball 1. She worked a walk back in the 3rd inning. A 1-for-2 day officially. Off the end of the bat, that one popped foul, sending a couple of tennis players ducking out of the way. Some of the teams from the other sports have collected around to watch the conclusion of this softball matchup between Milford and Foxboro. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Drifts too far outside. Two balls and 1 strike the count, with 1 down in the inning and a Milford runner at every base. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Playable for the catcher, who stumbles and can't make the catch. That catcher's mask not discarded far enough away. Brianna Stern ended up stumbling just a bit, causing her concentration to drift, and could not make the catch on that foul pop-up. And it gives Jakes another chance now with the 2-ball, 2-strike count. Buckner ready, here's the pitch. It's tapped on the ground back to the pitcher. He's able to go home for the force play. Now the throw to first base goes in and out of the glove. Jakes reaches on the fielder's choice. They're able to cut down the run at the plate. So LeBrun retired. Jakes safe at first base on the fielder's choice. DeCapua moves up to second base, and Maddie Bonvino advances to third. Now with 2 outs in the inning, Milford had the bases loaded with no outs. Now loaded up with 2 outs, and Jenny Levine takes a pitch off the knee running up to take that swing, took it flush off the left kneecap, it looked like, and she is getting attended to now by Coach DeVito, the infield umpire, also over. So Bonvino comes in to score. DeCapua moves to third. Jakes to second. A painful way to collect a run batted in for Jenny Levine. Levine not looking like she wants to come out of this game as she continues to talk to her coach. So she will stay in there as Coach DeVito is satisfied now. So the bases reloaded, still 2 outs in the inning now for Kate Irwin, who will take her first at bat of the game, replacing Sydney Pounds at the top of the lineup. And Irwin takes ball 1. Kate Irwin earning Hockomock League All-Star status for her performance in her freshman season on the Milford girls basketball team. The starting point guard of that team had a terrific season, one of the top scorers in the league. Irwin, along with fellow freshman Emily Pierre-Gustavo, really making an immediate impact on the basketball team. Now a chance to do it here on the softball team as both make the varsity squad. And Irwin ahead in the count here, 3 balls and no strikes. The third pinch hitter of the inning, and that pitch not close. Another bases loaded walk. Irwin earns the run batted in as Caitlin DeCapua crosses the plate. Milford now up by an even 10 runs, up 13-3. And the head coach for Foxboro back out to talk things over with the team. The second time Milford has had a 10-run lead in this game. As now first pitch swinging, Emily Pierre-Gustavo sends it foul. Narrowly missing a passing automobile. Pierre-Gustavo, a 3-hit, 3 RBI day so far. Takes a pitch in for a called strike 2. Lexi Buckner has endured 3 walks so far in this inning, along with a hit by pitch, but looking for the strikeout here to end the inning. A tapper towards first base for Emily Pierre-Gustavo. And the first baseman, Kelly Fisher, able to apply the tag just prior to Pierre-Gustavo getting to that first base bag for the out that ends the inning. So Milford does leave the bases loaded, but they tack on a couple more runs. They lead this game by a score of 13-3 as we take it to the top of the 7th inning here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. We have reached inning number 7 here at Milford High School. It has been an impressive day for the Milford Lady Hawks offense, scoring 13 runs on 9 hits. Tacking 2 runs on in the bottom half of the 6th inning as now Kelly Reichert looks to close things out with her second inning of relief. Starts off with a pitch too far inside to the number 9 hitter, Michaela Galley. Here's the pitch. Bunted foul at the plate. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the patience for these Milford hitters has really been on display in this game. 7 walks earned by Milford. That certainly helped boost their run total. They had 3 walks in that 6th inning alone. They only had 1 hit in the inning. It was the leadoff triple by Taylor LeBrun. As this is bunted on a line right back to the pitcher, Reichert, who makes the catch. A line out to the pitcher for the first out here in the 7th inning, and now once again back up to the top of the lineup in Hannah Davis. Way back when in the top of the 1st inning, Hannah Davis gave her team a 1-run lead with a solo home run on the very first pitch. That lead was quickly erased with a solo home run by Emily Pierre-Gustavo in the bottom half of the 1st inning, and it has been almost all Milford ever since. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. This is hit on the ground. It gets past the glove of the pitcher, backed up at shortstop nicely, and the throw to first base gets there in time. Milford 1 out away from victory. Looks like Emily Pierre-Gustavo now taking over at shortstop, shifting over now with Jill Powers out of the game. And now first pitch swinging. This one is hit on the ground to first base. Allie Pierre-Gustavo scoops it up, takes it to the bag herself for the out that concludes things here in the 7th inning. A very quick 1-2-3 7th inning for Kelly Reichert. And that will conclude things for the day here at Milford High School. What an impressive performance for the Milford Lady Hawks. They defeat Foxboro by a final score of 13-3. So we talked about the offensive potential of Foxboro coming into the game, who scored 14 runs in their victory yesterday. And a great job in the combined effort by the pitching staff of Milford today. Allie Atherton going the first 5. Kelly Reichert finishing things up with 2 innings of relief, limiting Foxboro to just 3 runs. Meanwhile, it was the Milford offense who owned the day. In particular, an impressive performance by the freshman Emily Pierre-Gustavo. 3 hits, including a home run, and 3 runs batted in. Also a big 3-run home run by Megan Jakes. And it all totaled up to a terrific opening day here at home for the softball team, earning a 13-3 victory over Foxboro. Well, we will have much more softball action to bring you over the course of this season, but that will wrap things up for today. For Rob O'Keefe, I am Tim Coette. Your final score one final time. Milford defeats Foxboro by a final score of 13-3. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics on Milford TV. So long, everybody.